Alright, so let's talk about Raggedy Ann and Andy, a musical adventure. So this movie was directed by Richard Williams. You might know him for, well, first of all, he did some various, animations for the opening titles of some old live action movies, like most notably the Pink Panther movies. Um, let me see. Did he do all the Pink Panther movies? Okay, he did two Pink Panther movies, but yeah. Let's see. Let He also did the Christmas Carol animated TV movie in '71. Yeah, I watched that once, and yeah, true to his usual form, it's pretty trippy. Um, and then about a decade after this, he would do the animation in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So yeah, that's a pretty big one. And then he also, like, the big one for him was, a lot of these works he was doing was, like, to try and fund his passion project, which was a movie called The Thief and the Cobbler, which has been in development hell for, like, 30 years until finally, like, a really, not so well put together version of it was released in '93. But it's got like some crazy and really cool visuals, and some of those visuals are kind of copied in this movie because he's been working on that movie since the '60s. Well, I'll get more into it once I get to that movie. I mean, yeah, it's not officially released until '93, but yeah, for now, let's talk about his work on Raggedy Ann and Andy, Musical Adventure. So yeah, it stars the famous toys. The plot is, we have this little girl named Marcella who owns the Raggedy Ann doll as well as Raggedy Andy. And it's the classic plot where once the kid leaves the toys alone in the bedroom, they come to life and start talking to each other and everything. So it's official. This movie takes place in the same universe as Toy Story. No, not really. I don't think Toy Story ever established that there's a giant taffy blob monster or a kingdom of weird, clown things. Anyway. So yeah, the plot gets going once, the girl, opens it's her birthday, so she opens a present and receives this French doll named Babette. And let's see. So yeah, Raggedy Ann and the other toys, they try to, greet Babette, but she's kind of stuck up. She doesn't want to be there. She wants to be back at Paris. She wants to go back to France. And while she sings this sad, forlorn song, this sea captain who's inside a snow globe, he sees her and he falls in love, and then he talks the other toys into getting him out of the snow globe, and then as soon as he gets out, he kidnaps Babette, and and then there's also this pirate ship that I guess happens to be a toy in the room, and they sail off to parts unknown. I guess it's implied that most of the movie takes place in the little girl's backyard, where all the adventure stuff happens. So yeah, Raggedy Ann and Andy head out to find her, and along the way they meet this blue horse with saggy knees, and yeah, that's his name, right? Sorry. Or, sorry, he's not a horse, he's a camel. Blue camel with the wrinkled knees. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he's kind of a beat-up toy that, he was taken in by this kid once, but then his mom ended up throwing him away, and, he got lost. So, yeah. We got some hints of Toy Story elements in this. So, let's see. So they travel along, and, soon they just happen across this weird ocean of taffy and other sweets that happens to be a giant blob monster thing called the Greedy. And, he's constantly eating himself, basically. And, he never runs out, but, he's so sad because he wants a sweetheart. And he sings about it, and, hold on. Yeah, when he, finds out that, Raggedy Ann has a candy heart inside her, he goes after them and, tries to eat them or something. And then after that, they escape him, and then they happen across this, the Looney Knight, Sir Leonard Looney. And yeah, he's a prankster, and, he kind of chases them around for a bit. And then at one point, they go into this building that's, seems to be, it's kind of where the main place where they kind of take the animation styles from Thief and the Cobbler, the checkerboard, setting and the stairs. Thinking back, I wonder if the opening part of Johnny the Giant Killer, where they're in the giant's castle, I wonder if that had any inspiration for Richard Williams. Soon they run into the king of, was it Looneyland? King Cuckoo, who, he's this short little grumpy king who, parts of him grow bigger when he laughs, and, that's why he captured Ann and Andy, so that he, Sir Looney can torture them so he can laugh at their expense, and then grow bigger as he laughs, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they escape him, and then they find themselves, they find like a weird submarine thing, and that seems to have a lot of inspiration taken from Yellow Submarine. Yeah, that's another movie that I'm sure, Williams had a lot of inspiration from. They ride the Yellow Submarine that happens to have a face to the ocean, and there they, reach the pirate ship where, apparently Babette, started up a mutiny, and she overthrew the other captain, and now she's the captain. The old captain is in the dungeon. Or I guess it's supposed to be called the hold. You know what I mean. The prison. She tries to capture Ann and Andy, and, let's see, that soon King Cuckoo catches up with them along with this giant weird sea monster thing. The sea monster is almost as trippy as the Greedy. And then he uses the monster to capture everybody, tickle them, and then he laughs until he's a giant balloon, and then the captain's parrot pops him. And then the little girl finds him out in her backyard and brings him back inside, except for the camel, who then, finds his way up to her room, and the toys let him in, and he's got a home now, and the girl takes him in as her new toy and stuff. So that's the basic plot, but otherwise, let's see, for the basics stuff, well, Richard Williams is pretty good at really trippy animation, and there's a lot of that in this movie. This movie is quite notorious for its trippy animation and weird psychedelic imagery, and to the point that it can get kind of disturbing at points. Let's see, what else? The animation is very fluid and overall mostly really good, but it's also pretty spastic a lot of the time. The characters move around a lot, and it's kind of all over the place a lot of the time. See, there's not much to the characters. A lot of them are mainly memorable for, their style, the weird animation that went into them. Like King Cuckoo's growing head, and, or not just his head, but like all parts of his body, but, there's, the Greedy, the weird sea monster thing, what's its name? Gazooks. And, there are other characters. Well, I guess I'll add in Sir Looney as another interesting design character, but, and then, you got, like, the toys in the girl's room, and, they're all pretty creative toys. We got, like, this repairman-like character with, like, 4 arms, and this pincushion lady, and these 2 really weird dolls that are, like, I don't know what they are, but they dance around and kind of sing brief little songs, like, what you do, what you do. And, they're really weird. The toys on their own are creative and weird at the same time. Let's see. So, so with all the crazy characters, Raggedy Ann and Andy, they come off as, like, your average, your average every person, I guess. They're just kind of the straight people who are, the straight man protagonists going along with this trippy adventure. Let's see. I mean, there's a cuteness to the characters. I think, I think they're cute in their own ways, especially Anne. She's, for one thing, she has the voice of Didi Khan, who was Frenchie in Grease. That lady's got an adorable voice, and she helps Raggedy Ann be an adorable character overall, and Andy's got a fun little voice as well. He's there's not much to the performance, but he puts a lot into or I don't know, he definitely, I'm saying definitely, even though I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. But yeah, he's charming. I think it's a charming performance. And also I think he's also a pretty good singer. He's probably the best singer in the movie. And everyone else, or yeah, there's a handful of other voice actors in here that you might know from somewhere, but none of them are known for like that many roles. Like, I mean, I know who Dee Dee Khan is, but Alan Swift is in the movie. I talked about him a bit in my review of what was it? Mad Monster Party. Let's see. George S. Irving. He's Heat Miser from Year Without Santa Claus. Who else? Alan Sues is. He was in. What was it? Laugh-In? Is that the show? Yeah, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. And yeah, some various other voices that you might know from somewhere. But yeah, the voice actors all did perfectly fine. I can't really name anyone who. Well, I will say the lady who voiced Babette was. I think her voice acting might have been a little obnoxious. I don't know if she's actually French or not, but yeah, the French accent was really over the top and kind of obnoxious. Let's see. I liked the songs in this, even though there were a little. Yeah, there was kind of too many songs, but I don't know. I think the songs individually were all very charming. I think they were well written, and so they were done by Joe Raposo. He did various. Well, he's most notable for doing some various songs for like. He did one of the Muppet movies, and he also did some various songs from Sesame Street, like C is for Cookie. So yeah, that's a pretty notable one. But yeah, I think if there weren't so many songs in this movie, they might be held up a little better. I mean, but as it is, I like them. I mean, let's see, the songs I Look and What Do I See. Let's see, Candy Hearts and Paper Flowers, Blue, I Never Get Enough. Yeah, those are probably the 5 that I would pick as my favorites in the movie, but, or was that 5? Oh yeah, and also, what was it, I Love You by the Looney Knight. Yeah, the songs, I like the songs. It's just that there's too many songs, and, there's one, like, every 2 minutes, and, like, every character needs to sing a song or two, and, yeah, it becomes a lot. So, yeah, the movie keeps stopping for these songs. That's the problem. And, it takes about, it takes almost half an hour before the adventure actually gets started, pretty much. Yeah, we spend almost half an hour in the girls' room, kind of getting introduced to these characters, and, yeah. Let's see, and yeah, the story is very messy. It's unfocused. Actually, I think, reading the Wikipedia page, I think some of the, reviews that I've read do kind of sum it up pretty well. Let's see, yeah, many critics found the movie hard to watch, complaining that the plot moved too slowly, had little focus, and was burdened by too many musical numbers. Yeah, those are pretty much the main issues with the movie. Yeah, many of the characters were considered too disturbing for children, but the settings and the rest of the film's concepts were praised. So yeah. Aside from those issues, there is still a charm to it. I think, Yeah, I mean, this is far from a perfect movie. It's definitely got some issues. I am reading that it was released on April 1st, so yeah, it's like an April Fool's joke. Well, it did have those loony characters, so I guess that fits well enough. Maybe it was intentional. I don't know. Um, but let me see. So yeah, I'd say in the end, this movie was a mess, but it was a charming mess. Um, I guess I'll also talk about the romantic undertones with Raggedy Ann and Andy. Like there are parts where you see them being all cute together, and you'll be like, "Aw, they make such a cute couple," but then you're reminded, "Oh yeah, they're brother and sister." I don't know. I guess they don't go that far, so you know, it's good to see a loving brother and sister duo. Um, let's see. But yeah, overall, I like this movie, but I do acknowledge its issues. I'd say for the story, I might give it a 6, or just the overall quality, but I feel like the charms of the movie do manage to push it up to a 7 out of 10 for me. At least that's kind of how I feel. I mean, um, so yeah, it's definitely not perfect, but yeah, it's still charming. It's cute, if a little trippy and bizarre and, a little creepy at times. Um, but yeah, overall, I do like this movie. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. Um, and take everything I've said into consideration with whether you want to see it or not. But yeah, if you're curious enough, I think this movie might be worth your time. It's definitely an interesting little experience. Um, and yeah, if there's anything else I feel I need to add, I will put it in the comments. And I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Mash it and smash it, signing off.